And welcome to another benefit of the Doud. I was going to say review, but that's not right. Unboxing comes later, but just another benefit of a Doud episode because that's what we do here. So, hi, I'm Adam, and this is my co-host Cliff Thomas. How you doing?
Hi.
I don't know.
What is happening?
You take a week off and everything just falls to crap. I'm just telling you. Welcome to the benefit of the Doud YouTube channel. Come for the tech, stay for the screw ups. Anyway, today we are talking about, if you've read the title, you know that we are going to be unboxing the OnePlus 12. This is OnePlus's next flagship phone that's coming. And we're going to get to that. That's going to be towards the end of the video because that's what we call a teaser in the biz. But you might be asking yourself, Adam, what's with the glasses and when did you move to Occupy Wall Street? And those are fair questions. These are the Meta Ray-Bans that I just got at CES because I took a meeting that took an unexpected turn and we have Meta Ray-Ban glasses, and I am trying to make these a thing, but my face strongly disagrees. How you doing, Cliff?
I think those are working for you. Yeah, I told you off air. I think you look like maybe somewhere along the way, maybe in an alternate universe, you decided to be a hipster. Although I guess really, I should have told you to do a man bun because you totally could.
I could do a man bun. I'm not very good at them, but I could do it.
and then maybe offer me some coffee or a craft brew.
Avocado toast. 100%.
Yeah, there you go.
So I did have I had bagels with cream cheese this morning for breakfast. Does that count? I don't know if that's a hipster thing. I think that's
not
a normal
unless
thing,
not unless
right?
it's maybe if it's got locks and all that good stuff, then you'd at least be closer to
it was
that vibe.
Yeah.
Oh, that does.
And right now people are screaming, "Talk about CES! What the hell?" Anyway, yeah. So
how was the food at CES, by the way?
You know what? Actually, I had some amazing shawarma while I was there.
I don't know what shawarma
we went
is.
to you don't know what shawarma? It's like a Middle Eastern food. It's kind of like a gyros, but a little bit farther east, basically.
Just like
no,
kebab
it's
style,
yeah.
but like in some kind of flatbread.
It can be served in a flatbread. This was served with rice, like just on a bed of rice. So it was
Sounds
quite delicious.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and that was that was followed immediately by a Green Day concert, which I was lucky enough to attend. That was put on by our friends at JBL. Apparently, JBL does like big concerts every year, and I did not know that, and I'm going to have to stay on JBL's nice list because last year they had Def Leppard, this year they had Green Day. I think one year they had Sting or Elton John or something. Yeah, I mean they've had like fairly big names. But yeah, so that was pretty amazing.
Before we get into the tech, I have to ask you, like, what everybody's thinking. What did you think of the Sphere?
I didn't go in it. I only saw it from the outside. It's honestly a little less eyesore than I thought it was going to be.
That's what I was wondering. I'm like,
I kind of,
I was thinking, like, when I'm sorry, but every time I see it, I'm like, I'm sure that's great for the people that are visiting, but for people that live there, are you just like, my eyes?
No,
every day.
It's okay. They had a cool thing where they kept doing like this like little Tetris puzzle on it, which was kind of fun. It's also it's honestly not as big as I thought it was going to be. Like, now I understand the fantastical amount of tech that is going into this thing. Trust me, I understand that.
Right.
But like, I think the videos just kind of made it look bigger than it actually was. So here I can do a little thing here. Screen edge tab. Yeah, where's the share button? See the I can't see the hang on a second. There we go. I couldn't see the share button. So yeah, there we go. So there's a picture of the Sphere that I took.
So this was
actually taken. Yeah, it's on. You can see like there's some stuff down in the corner down here. But it's kind of like an ongoing, rotating presentation that it does. It's kind of cool. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to go inside of it. I could have, but I had
Yeah.
other things that I had to do. But yeah, it seems like from what I'm told, it's very cool. I talked to several people that were inside of it, and it was very sweet.
Interesting. Okay.
All right, so
Well,
I'm
let's
gonna
get to the
stop
tech
that.
because I know that's what everybody's here for. Sorry, I had to
Yeah,
interrupt because when I think Las Vegas right now, that's really the first thing that pops into my mind is it's the Sphere. So
sure, 100% get that. Yeah, so the I would say the theme of CES, or at least the theme of the CES that I visited, was largely AI, no shock there.
mm,
But there were some very smart implementations of the AI there. Like, a lot of it is just kind of like a lot of what we have now in AI is just throw spaghetti against the wall and see what sticks.
hmm
But it seems like they found some decent sticking spaghetti over there. So we could talk a little bit about that.
okay,
I saw a lot of gaming hardware. Computing is always a big thing
sure.
at CES. So I saw a lot of gaming stuff. I saw some audio stuff. I I came home with not one but two new pairs of glasses, audio glasses. So we'll talk about these in a second as well. But yeah, so like a lot of it was gaming, a lot of it was computing, a lot of it was AI, and but not like dumb AI. Like some legitimately cool stuff. If you haven't been following on Slash Gear, we've been posting a mostly daily roundup of some of the cool techs that we saw. I think we actually missed a day in there somewhere because publishing times got weird. But anyway, but so it was kind of like a recap of like all the stuff that we saw. Um, and so you should definitely go check that out. I'll link to the first one in the show notes so that you can find that one. But yeah, so check that out. Those were written by me and my colleague Dave McQuilling over at Slash Gear, who was there with us.
The man on the
Um,
street with
yeah.
the eyes on the ground.
Mm. The feet on the ground, the very, very
Right.
in
I
pain
saw your
feet on the ground.
comparison of your steps from pre CES versus during CES that you posted.
Yeah, and you know
Like,
what? Honestly, it wasn't as many steps as I thought. I think I did
mm,
a really good job of like organizing my meetings this year,
mm.
which was nice.
Plus, you got to
But
ride in a
just to
limo,
give,
which was nice. You got a little bit of a ride somewhere.
I did. JLab, JLab said we're gonna send a limo to pick you up. I'm like, okay, an Uber or whatever. But it was actually like a limo that pulled into. I'm like, huh? I think that's for me. That's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Um, Feels a little wasteful, but yeah, let's do it.
Well, I mean, look
um,
where you were. Vegas is
right.
kind of wasteful in general, but that's okay.
That is true. So I should mention before we get too much farther in, Qualcomm Automotive actually sponsored my trip there, so they paid for plane and lodgings, and in exchange, I was, I got a lot of briefings and a lot of tech demos and stuff like that from Qualcomm Automotive. So they were paying my bills. Again, as always, no editorial input into what I can or can't talk about. But yeah, it was a good that was a good day because it was mostly sit down interviews, so I didn't have to be on my feet all day, which was nice.
It is so
Yeah.
interesting to me, just very quickly, that how much CES has become an automotive showcase, an automotive technology showcase. But
Yeah.
it used to be this time of the year was when, for me, when I used to really follow the automotive industry, you had the Detroit Auto Show in like during the first week of January. And I don't even think I don't think it takes place now. And I don't know if that's because everything's moved to
Yeah.
CES, but yeah, this has become
Yeah, I
like,
don't
for
know.
me, like
Like,
the first automotive event of the year as much as it is, consumer technology and
yeah,
other
well,
places.
VinFast launched a new EV
Yeah,
truck this
the
year.
little
I don't.
well, that was a concept, but they did announce that they're bringing that little two-door SUV to the United States, which is interesting. So,
Yeah, Yeah, which looked pretty cool. So I was sent on an emergency mission over to the VinFast booth to grab some photos because they
Nice.
didn't distribute any photos with their press materials. So I'm like, actually, I do have a 2-hour break right now, and I just happened to be in that hall. Yes, I
Hmm.
can go do that. So that was good. So like, let's just do a rundown of the companies that I saw while I was
Sure. Yeah,
there.
that sounds good.
I flew in on Sunday and I met with a PR agency first and then Razer. And then we went to CES Unveiled, which is kind of like a mini showcase inside the
Hmm.
showcase. And then the next day I saw MSI, followed by JLab with the aforementioned limo. Then I saw a company called Brane X, which I'm very excited about. We can talk about that a little bit. Then I saw another company called Mudra Bands, which I'll be honest, from the pitch, kind of sounded a little bit like BS, but it turned out to not be as much. It turns out to be kind of cool. And then I saw ASUS, and then a company called Dusk, and then I saw JBL, and then we had Pepcom, which is another mini
The
showcase.
show inside the show.
The show inside the show. The next day, I started off with a press tour of the Google booth, which ran way long, and I found myself finishing the booth tour along with like the normal people that were coming in, so it was no longer exclusive. Then I had a OnePlus briefing for the phone that we're going to talk about at the end of this show, and then a whole bunch of Qualcomm stuff, and then Showstoppers, again, a show within a show. There was a party by Withings that I have to be honest with you, I have very rarely regretted not going to a party in my life. Like, I was like, oh,
Right.
if I could go, that'd be fine. I regret not going to this party because I saw some videos about the stuff that was going down in that party, and man, it looked like a banger. I gotta say, I'll share those with you off air. But my lord,
Gotcha.
let's see. Then the next day, so Wednesday was the day that I had about 10 meetings scheduled, and I did not have one meeting at the time that I scheduled it for. So I started off with a company called Morelli, which is kind of like an I don't want to say auto parts because that sounds like Napa, but like they're a supplier for the automotive industry.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So they were showing off some tech that they have now and tech that's coming up. Then I met with Lenovo, then Nanoleaf, Logitech, another company called XMEMS, which are
Ooh, I like
developing
Nanoleaf
some
stuff. I want some
interesting audio
shiny
tech.
triangles behind me.
Yeah, man. I kept like I've had offers to review Nanoleaf stuff. I just don't have the house for it.
Yeah,
I don't have a house where I can like randomly put up glowing squares anywhere. Then I saw a company called Next Playground, which you're going to see a review from on. And by the way, Brane, I will also be reviewing for /year. But Next Playground is kind of like VR headset without the headset, which is kind of interesting. It's kind of like somewhere in between a Quest and Microsoft Kinect. So there's that. Then we had. Then I met up with Clicks by Michael Fisher, which I think that's the official name. No, it's just Clicks.
It's just Clicks.
And then I met up with the Apollo people. It's just I personally think they missed that opportunity by not calling it Clicks by Michael Fisher. But anyway, and then I met up with the Apollo people. Have we talked about Apollo on this show?
Have not that I know of.
They're they have a wearable that sends you vibes, which are kind of like haptic. It's like a haptic engine that's designed to like
this
calm
is
you
to help
down
you with your sleep, right?
and help you sleep.
Yeah, I know what product you're talking about now. Okay, yeah. I'm actually very interested.
So I met up with them.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So I met up with them, and then Green Day, and then House of Tech party with Nirav Gandia has his new company called House of Tech, where it's a good name actually. I like it because it's shortened to HOT. But anyway, so yeah, congrats on that, Nirav. Good name, good branding. Then I went on the mobile tech podcast with Miriam Mishwar. That was a very late podcast, and so on that podcast, I'm gonna talk about it now, even though it came out when this drops, it will have come out yesterday. So go check that out. We talk about mine and Miriam's top 5 tech that we saw at CES. So I don't want to spoil that here. Although I guess her podcast will have spoiled this episode. But anyway, we only have 5 minutes, so I better hurry. And then the final day was just kind of a show floor day where I was wandering that's where I actually came across the Meta Ray-Bans, because I went to go see another company from the parent company that owns Ray-Bans. And so they're doing hearing aid tech built into glasses, which is kind of cool. It's a company called Nuance. That's shipping like much later in 2024. But while I was there, they're like, hey, have you seen the Meta Ray-Bans yet? I'm like, well, I've seen them. I haven't had a chance. Oh, well, let's go take care of that. Okay, cool. And then, so I saw XGimmy, which is a projector company. I saw Hisense, which had a really cool, Hisense, most of Hisense's large screen TVs are actually like short throw projectors with screens that you mount to the wall. And this screen actually was an audio screen. So the screen itself was producing the audio for what was on the TV. Kind of cool. And then went to the airport and flew home.
Nice.
And that was like, and if that all sounded like really squished together and yada yada all the way through, that's because that was basically my entire week. Like was just.
I have to say, if I was in that situation and then coming home and then trying to digest it and gel the experience, I would get my wires crossed in terms of who was presenting what. I mean, that's also why you take notes and you have
right.
Let's talk about just very quickly the gear that you took, what you used it for.
Okay.
What maybe you, as an example, might do differently next time, or was this like the perfect setup for you this year?
No, I did pretty well. I actually did pretty well. I ended up not using the big battery that I took, the Anker. This guy, I ended up not using this at all.
Okay.
I had it with me just in case. It's very hefty though. It's very dense. It's GAN. But anyway, so I had that with me. I probably didn't need that. I had the Lenovo YogaBook 9i as my primary laptop, as one does. I had my iPhone in one pocket. That was my primary phone. I had the OnePlus 12. Not OnePlus 12. Sorry, the OnePlus Open in my other pocket, which is not. Oh yeah, it is. So the main reason I had that was because of the open screen. I was able to. I had like a spreadsheet of all my meetings, and I could like just kind of see at a glance, like,
I can see how that'd be really useful.
Yeah. So I was able to see at a glance. I guess I'll try to get it to expose. Anyway, so you could like see the whole spreadsheet of like where I had to be and how I had to get there and stuff like that. And then I had the Pixel 8 Pro for note taking, for recording interviews and doing the automatic transcript, which turned out to be very helpful.
I gotta say, I've been using the Pixel 8 Pro for about 2 weeks now. But number one, just the accuracy with which it does speech to text is just incredible. And now I believe it's doing most of that on device, so it's super fast. Right. So when you told me you took that, I'm like, oh, that's such a good choice. You could just hold it up and let it take all the notes for you. Yeah, and Nick Gray, actually, that was his only phone on the entire trip. So mad respect. It was kind of cool though, because like I was able to I could pick up any of those phones and just take pictures of what I needed to take pictures of, and it was gonna come out great, which is really cool. So, okay, I'm going to entertain any final questions that you have about CES, but then we need to get to the star of the show. Yeah, let's get to the star of the show. But are you feeling sick? Did you get the CES plague? I did not get the CES plague. I have gone 4 years to CES. I have not come home sick once. I do not shake hands. That is my secret. I also took a COVID test yesterday just in case, because I was in a building with 180,000 of my closest friends. And I am neggy on the COVID test. So, one other thing I wanted to show
I mentioned that I came home with some Sunglass Tech. This is a pair of sunglasses that I came home with. These are called dusk sunglasses from a company called Ampere. And the reason I really wanted to try these out was because here's the thing. I'm driving in the car to Target listening to a podcast. Now, when I get to Target and I'm about to go inside, I have to make a choice. Either A, I can stop listening to my podcast, or B, I can be that guy walking around in Target with sunglasses. I don't like either of those choices.
Right.
So Dusk said, well, what if your sunglasses weren't sunglasses anymore?
Ooh.
And so, yeah, so this is fancy. These are the Dusk sunglasses that have electrochromatic lenses that with a push of a button, bink, they are not sunglasses anymore.
Very cool.
So, yeah. So I mean, they're a
I've
little
almost
dark.
purchased those like 2 or 3 times. Those are very appealing to me for the reasons that you're talking about. Yeah.
It's so tempting, isn't it? So I got a chance to try these out, and I gotta say, I haven't actually tried that scenario of going to Target and wanting to, continue my podcast listening inside. That is definitely on my to-do list for this weekend. But yeah, so like just as audio sunglasses, the sound is okay. But I'm especially intrigued by the okay, see you later.
Right. Well, I mean,
And I'm back.
for podcasts,
And
that's
see
what
you
your
later.
use is.
And I'm back.
Off,
And
on,
see you later.
off.
And I'm back.
Very cool.
So anyway, yeah. So I'm going to have some fun with those, but let's get back to the hotness. There we go. Woo! The glasses are making so many noises, like now that you're putting them on, like hello. Anyway, I don't know if any of you heard that, but
I could not. But I think I actually pre the start of the podcast when we were talking, and you were taking them on and off and switching.
No, I can't. Stop talking. Oh, by the way, took a picture. So anyway, okay. So why don't we get to
let's get to
the main
what everybody's waiting
here,
for. Yeah.
Which is the unboxing of the OnePlus 12. And for any unboxing, we need our friend Skippy. So hello, Skippy. Mute.
Let's mute
One of these days, I'm going to
There we
remember to mute. Here's the thing. Little inside baseball. When we push the record button, it automatically plays that video that you see at the front, the intro video, and it mutes all of our microphones. And then regardless of the state of the microphone, when you press the record button, it unmutes the microphone at the end. So I always need to remember, after we're done with the intro, I need to go back and remute Skippy, and I never remember to do that. So
that's all right.
Anyway,
people have come to expect that is just a regular feature of the podcast or of the show. So ooh, man.
Yep. Okay, so here we have the OnePlus Open, and there is the OnePlus 12.
Sure,
It's
brand
the
new from Christmas. The Swiss Army knife.
pocket knife. Yep.
Nice.
Yep. So we're going to use that to open her up. You can see here we've got the OnePlus 12, and we have the Flowy Emerald version, and it is 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of storage, which is pretty great. So we are going to slicey, and thump. All right, so we open up. Here's a thank you message on the inside that says things I can't read without my reading glasses.
Thanks for being part of the community.
Yep, exactly. Never settle. And here's the top level. Actually, let's go ahead and take the phone out. We'll put that off to the side. Let's open up this box here. We have a USB-C to USB-A adapter. Got some welcome materials, a guide. We got some stickers, which are always fun. Membership to the membership card to the Red Cable
Red
Club.
Cable
That's
Club?
fun. So yeah, we got membership card and safety stuff here. Quick start guide.
All of the
I don't know
expected
about you,
stuff.
but I never read this. But
Nope. I don't know a single
yeah, it's
person
just a
who's ever
welcome
read
card.
those. But I will say, before you get to the phone
You know
itself,
what? The Verge reads those because they report on what exactly is in these terms of service.
the software
So
and
anyway,
the best part about a OnePlus unboxing is OnePlus, and actually I will say Realme too, and I'm sure Oppo,
mhm.
and BBK phones have a distinct smell. I don't know if it's the ink that they use on their packaging, but ever since the original OnePlus One, every
Okay.
OnePlus phone that I've had, it has like a very latexy plastic kind of distinctive smell when you open
Yeah.
it. It smells real. I actually like it because I'm
Yeah.
weird,
No, I mean,
but
and there is like kind of like a soft touch, like
yeah.
material, like soft touch, like texture
Hmm.
to this. So yeah, I mean, it could be something like that with that. But anyway, all right. So let's keep on digging. All right, we have our massively huge power brick with the questionable USB-A port on the
It's like the OnePlus
inside, but
11. Yeah.
I believe this is an 80-watt charger because it's North America. I want to say it's 110 overseas, something like that. We have the very nicely coiled red cable of the aforementioned Red Cable Club, so that's fun. And I think that's it for that box. Yep. So let's go ahead and kind of tuck all this back in here. I'm going to keep the plug out because we're going to have to charge up.
that bad boy.
Charge that bad boy in about 16 seconds because that's how OnePlus is. All right. Get you in there. Come on. There we go. There we go. I'm good. I'm not screwing this up at all. Okay.
Everybody loves the fumbling. It's fine.
Yep, everybody's here for.
All right, now the mate. All right, well, hold on. Let me do it before you bring it up.
Do it.
And is everybody ready for the main event?
Cliff got a new toy in case you hadn't gleaned that.
Yeah.
But anyway. So yeah, here is the OnePlus 12. Let's do the unwrapping. Ooh, man, this is a color.
Yes, it is. Is it the marbly?
Man. It's marbly, yeah.
Oh,
so
I like that.
It looks just like a kitchen counter. But
in a 70s
no, that
house.
is such a nice look though. And like just for comparison against the OnePlus Open, which was similar to the OnePlus 12, or OnePlus 11, which I have up there. Let me switch over to my glasses that allow me to actually see.
I like that OnePlus has now got I think some consistency across their hardware design for the last few iterations, which is good. I mean, now you see that and it's a OnePlus phone or an Oppo phone, but you won't really see those here in the US. So.
Okay, now we cannot power this on because that is what OnePlus has told us to not do. But what we can talk about are a couple of things. First of all, this is the OnePlus 12. OnePlus is also bringing the OnePlus 12R to the United States for the first time.
Yeah, I believe that was China. It was a China-only model before the R series.
India, I believe.
Or India, okay.
I believe, is where that lived. But so the OnePlus 12R, OnePlus is kind of calling it not their companies are it, not they. OnePlus is calling that its return to the flagship killer because it's offering high-end specifications, but for an affordable price, the price which we are not allowed to talk about yet. So, but I can say it is coming to the United States, and we're going to talk about the OnePlus 12 first because that's what's on the table in front of us. And while we're talking about the OnePlus 12, I'm going to piss off Cliff because Here's Mr. Gaffer's tape. This is a very slippery phone. Here's the Gaffer's tape. I know.
It
but
didn't bother me with the OnePlus 11 because it was already kind of a matte.
It was already a black phone.
Black phone. So this, on the other hand, is like putting you've got the lipstick and now you're putting a pig on it.
Oh, this is so much easier to hold.
I
like
so
it
much.
Yep.
So
Yep, I know you do.
Oh.
It's fine. Anyway, so the OnePlus 12, let's make sure we can we center that Gaffer's tape right in the middle of the frame there while Cliff visibly cringes on camera. The OnePlus 12 has a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor. And by the way, if I seem like I'm bouncing back and forth, it's because OnePlus gave us all the statistics for both phones all at once. So I tried to keep them straight. If I screw something up, well, let's face it, that's on brand for the podcast. But anyway, so Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor, 5,500 milliamp hour battery. I already mentioned that this particular model comes with 16 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage. I want to say there is a lower set of numbers, which I think might be 12 to 56.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't know. So I want to say the storage is definitely 256. I don't know what the base RAM is. It might still be 16. I'm not 100% positive.
Or 8.
Anyway, 5,500 milliamp hour battery, and considering how thin this is, that is a massive battery for this size.
This
4,500.
Does it have wireless charging?
It has wireless charging, but the OnePlus 12R does not.
Well,
but yeah. So once again, as I mentioned in my OnePlus 11 review on Slash Gear, if OnePlus was a Facebook entry and wireless charging was its spouse, it would definitely have to check the "It's Complicated" box, because they have a very complicated history with wireless charging. It's on, it's off. They're like basically what OnePlus and wireless charging are like the Ross and Rachel of the mobile world.
And if I remember right, based on the rumors anyway, it was supposed to be like 50 watt wireless charging.
50-watt wireless charging. Actually, along with the Christmas sweater that we didn't actually get a chance to show, OnePlus sent along a 50-watt wireless charging stand. So
I really hope
that'll be fun.
Like a fan built into it. Otherwise, it's going to be really hot.
I'm sure it does. What did I see here? For wired charging, you're going to go from 1 to 100% in 30 minutes.
Wow.
And 1 to 100% in 31 minutes for the OnePlus 12R. So because this OnePlus 12R has a slightly larger battery. Okay, so for the cameras, we have a on the OnePlus 12, we have a 50 megapixel main sensor, which is a first for OnePlus to use a Sony LYT-808 sensor, which is cool. Let's see, I've got one over 1.4 inch sensor and a 1.6 f over 1.6 aperture. There's a 64 megapixel 3x periscope lens. That's a half-inch sensor, and a 48 megapixel ultra wide sensor. So pound for pound, the camera system is very similar to what's on the OnePlus Open. I want to say that those specifications off the top of my head sound one for one, but obviously there's a new main sensor in the OnePlus 12. And I can tell you right now that the OnePlus Open camera system is killer. So watch out, OnePlus 12 fans. And then for the OnePlus 12R, we have a 50 megapixel main camera, a 8 megapixel ultra wide camera, and a macro camera, which I don't believe they gave us a megapixel count for. Probably two.
Yeah,
useless.
And since we're talking, the 12R, I don't think we mentioned the other specs. So it says with the specs that you listed here, we have a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. A 5,400
Gen 2, which is like, yeah.
I mean, that's what still an awesome, 4 nanometer TSMC
Yeah,
that
you know what? I might be wrong. The 12R might have the 5,500 milliamp hour, and the 12 might have the 5,400 milliamp
I mean,
hour.
you're
I
splitting
didn't
hairs at
write
this
down
point.
which one was for which. Yeah, but I think the 12R has the larger battery because it takes a little bit longer to charge.
It also would make more sense
Yeah,
considering
I think
that
that's what it is.
fit the coil. You've got to fit the coils in for the wireless charging on the 12, and so
Yeah. So I'm kind of thinking I might have had those reversed. So anyway,
okay.
come for the tech save for the screw ups.
That's
But yeah,
fine.
and then for the 12, I think, no Hasselblad branding on the 12. Yeah, no Hasselblad. But anyway, branding on the 12R. But so this is the OnePlus 12. This will be, let's see, my review for this will be dropping towards the end of the month on /year. Now that I've unboxed it, I can officially move into it, which means I need to call T-Mobile. I need to go to a T-Mobile store and get a new SIM card because Apple.
Oh
But
yeah.
So
Well,
anyway, but
does that not have does it not support eSIM? I'm sure
it probably does, but I'm not sure I want to have that argument. I don't want to have that argument either. But although I suppose it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Man. Well, so like I either have to go to a store and get a SIM card, or I have to call T-Mobile and say I want to take my main number and move it to a secondary number, and then take this phone and move it over to my main number. I honestly think going to a store is a little bit easier, so I think I'm just going to have to do that.
Minus all the snow that you guys have right now.
But yeah, it's there's another coating. My daughter has been making a killing this week on snow shoveling.
Oh, really?
But oh yeah,
enterprising.
She's
enterprising daughter. Mine just asked me for snacks, and that's where we're at.
My daughter is very she's very much like me.
I was gonna say, it sounds like you.
Yeah. So anyway, so that is our unboxing of the OnePlus 12 and my recap of CES 2024. And I think that is just about going to do it for this episode of the podcast. Please consider subscribing to the podcast if you enjoyed it. And if you really enjoyed it, I would love it if you would comment down below. Is the OnePlus 12 going to be your next phone, or what was your highlight from CES? What did you like seeing coming from the podcast? I'm going to go ahead and turn off Skippy. What did you enjoy coming from the show? If you want to get some early access, jump onto Patreon at patreon.com/benefit of the Doud. I would like to thank co-host Cliff for all of his hard work behind the scenes. But most of all, and as always, I would like to thank you for watching and for giving us the benefit of